It feels like kind of a hole, I guess. Like it's hard to exactly put your finger on, but you feel like something is missing the whole time, and it's hard to figure out exactly what that something is. And so you go through life and you're not exactly sure what's missing, and then suddenly you get back together with some old friends or whatever, and then you realize that's what's been gone the whole time.
Maybe loneliness feels like an emptiness, a sense of being lost. It can feel confusing, being unmoored or ungrounded.
Just feels like you're by yourself, and it's hard to explain. It's not something that I feel very often, but when I do, it's just like an emptiness. That's it.
When I feel lonely, it's pretty much just when I've kind of isolated myself in my apartment. I feel like, especially in a post-COVID world, it's really easy to just kind of isolate and stay where you are, because for a while that was the right thing to do, was to stay where we were. And it's kind of been hard, especially, like as someone who does struggle with like anxiety or like talking to other people. I did before even COVID existed. It's gotten a lot worse after COVID. And I would say loneliness is pretty much just that feeling of isolation and not really talking to others.
I feel like loneliness can best be described by feeling like you're kind of isolated and there's nothing or no one really around you that understands you. It's a feeling like a void, like you're missing something, or maybe you just feel overall different, and it can make you feel sad, angry. It's more emotions that are connected to negativity.
It feels like when nobody understands you, nobody even don't want to understand you, and that feels lonely because people are so selfish and they live inside of their bubble and not curious about how can be different, how other people feel, what's going on around the world. That's what it is, the loneliness.
Well, when my wife's away, I do feel I miss her, and I'm lonely until she gets back.
To me, it's pretty literally just not being able to be around people. So like during COVID, when we had all the lockdowns, we were pretty much all locked into our own homes. That led to a lot of loneliness. You're not really exposed to anyone outside of your immediate family and maybe a couple friends.
I think I feel loneliest when I don't feel like I can share my true feelings with the people around me. Sometimes, when you feel misunderstood. Yeah.
When I feel unknown or not understood, I think that's an easy way to feel lonely. I have a good community of people, but when I don't get to spend time with them, I can feel disconnected.
Not having someone to reach out to for assistance. And by assistance, I'm not talking about money, or I'm talking about like, as a student, if you don't know anything, you just turn to your neighbor and you ask the person. Here, it's more conservative. Everyone has to learn everything by themselves. But in Nigeria, it's like, oh, this normally would take you like 2 hours, but all you have to do is push this, and there you have it. So being able to just turn to someone, get one straight answer, not having to feel like you must do it all on your own, it makes someone feel lonely, mostly.
I think for me, I think we all crave human connection, and sometimes if I have fears or anxieties or I let the perception of how other people view me get to my head, then I tend to isolate, and that's when I become really lonely, and I, avoid situations that I normally wouldn't otherwise.
What makes me feel lonely is being around arrogant people who don't care about anyone but themselves. And they are so not aware of other people that makes you feel sad and lonely because you disappoint an existence. How about that? The most lonely I've ever been is around people, arrogant people.
I think I feel lonely when I feel like people don't understand my mind or the way that I act, because I feel like I would say I'm kind of an oddity and slightly unique. I like to read a lot, I like to write a lot, I do things and say things that aren't conventional. And I think loneliness really stems from when you can't really connect to others and you don't feel like people are the same as you. Even though we're all supposed to be different, there is a comfort in unity that sometimes I lack to feel, I don't feel it.